Angira, can you hear me?
Hi, Mamta, and hi, Shan. Hello to everybody. Well, my transformation, I can hear you.
Yes. You can begin, Angira, yeah.
I think she's dropped out.
Yeah, looks like that only. I think she got disconnected. Uh, I'm not sure what happened actually. Ah, there she is back. Angira is back. Yes, Angira, you can unmute yourself and you can
Can you
start
hear?
speaking. Yes, we can hear you. You can unmute yourself and you can start speaking. Yeah.
Hi, hi, everyone. So yes, my transformation actually started but in the month of May of this year, and it was really so much like I started with a vision that yes, because there was a lockdown and all this post-COVID situation and all, and really what I wanted to like do at that point of time is that I, what I was facing was that a lot of lack of energy in my work, and as I'm a creative director, I have to take care of all the like the creative part and the business aspect and everything. So I was having a problem with my energy level, and of course, I am a polycystic ovary patient, so I was getting putting on a lot of weight at that point of time, and like at that and when the post covid entire, you can say that as there was like a lockdown and the offices got closed, so I had a time when actually a long time before, from a very long time, Kuldeep was telling me that I have to do some transformation and all, but then actually I was not getting a time to focus into that. But when at that point of time, I really started to do it from like 19th of May officially. And then slowly, first I started with the evening walk. Then I joined the online training program. Then I started with the weight training, and that myself to from one level to another level. And when I started, I remember my weight was 79, and today it is like more like 4 months, and now I am in 56. And the best part is that I'm able to put down like my fat percentage to 13%, and now my target is like to bring it down below 10. So this is an entire journey that I really had, and few things I have already, like it was very important for me. One is that a disciplined life. Now, like I go to sleep at exactly at 11. I wake up at 5:45. At from 6:15, my session starts. After that, I have my office. Then I come back from office. I do my evening training sessions and all. So this is like a disciplined life for 6 days. And I have a high protein like diet. I really cut down to my carbohydrate to 20%. And I mostly take like protein and all, and vegetables, and like minerals and good fat. I really avoid all kind of trans fats. I don't eat like I don't take any sugar or any product of like sugary product, anything that has like sugar into that. I don't drink cold drink. I don't like eat anything which is made of flour. It's like a big no to me. I don't eat any fried food except the weekends if there is any craving. Yes, I eat on that day, but it's not like that it's a cheat day. Let's jump into food. No, I don't do that because I'm not that kind of a person that I jump into a food and I eat everything. So what I believe is that in the transformation, when you are doing this journey, if you really want a great result for yourself, so you need to first decide that what is your target, where you want to see yourself. Then you have to decide that how you want to take it over there. So you need a dedicated workout plan. You need a proper like right choice of a like food habit and a diet plan for sure. And then you need a discipline in your life at that point of time, and which you can maintain throughout your life, because this is not a transformation that I did for 5 months and then I'm going to leave it. No, because now I believe with Kuldeep, and now it's a journey. It's a journey till I can continue, and till my last breath, I must say. So it's a journey, and we have to. And what I believe, what is the best part with Kuldeep is that I enjoy every step, because he doesn't say that, okay, leave this, leave that, and you have to do this. Either you will put on weight. No, because he is telling that you can do everything, and gradually you have to concentrate in the entire process. And you can slowly, and if you are dedicated, you will get into your goal. You will reach to there, and that is what has happened with me. I'm not saying that I have achieved my goal, because I have another goal which I want to achieve in the coming days, which is like I want my six packs abs, which Kuldeep knows, and like, and we keep on talking about this, but that's a different part. But yeah, but coming from 79 to 56, I feel now great, because I can carry myself. I got back my energy. I feel motivated all the time. And when you have a physical strength, you definitely have a mental strength to fight with all the odds, even in your business at this point of time. So this is what has really helped me. So I think that that is my transformation journey, and I'm really, really very much like, I'm very happy with this, and I want to continue it. And I feel great that when I'm able to motivate many of others who are surrounded to me, and they're getting motivated by seeing me and my result, that is something, a great satisfaction that I get. And that is the thing that always keeps on me, like gives me the strength that every morning I have to wake up, I have to do my session. After session, I take a selfie and I post it, so that everybody gets motivated, that okay, I'm not like, I didn't leave my session for today, I'm doing like this. So that's how I'm trying to keep others motivated too. So I think that's what I wanted to share. Over to Kuldeep.
Yeah. Thank you, Angira.
Hi, Kuldeep.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Thank you, Angira, for the beautiful,
Yeah.
lovely talk that you have. Quite a motivating journey, actually. In fact, the way of transformation has happened in your case has been really remarkable, actually. And we really all congratulate you for that. Uh, the next speaker would be actually Mamta Benani, and I hope, let's see what she has to say on this. Mamta, over to you.
Yeah, all tough things happening with me, I must say that, but very happy about it. So first and foremost, thankful to Kuldeep for having given me this opportunity. I am an advocate by profession, and I have been the past president of the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. So I've been a company secretary all through my life. I mean, now I've shifted to advocacy. And why I say this is for a reason that as an advocate, I think it's always well said that a healthy mind lives in a healthy body. So I didn't come to Kuldeep looking for someone who could train me, nothing of the sort. I think I just landed or parachuted myself. And that just happened because of one of the most finest gentlemen that I know, that is Mr. Vikas Jain. You won't believe it. I was just happened to, share with him that because we are looking for someone, who could actually train me in a disciplined manner, because I've been into yoga for a pretty long time. I was not looking for weight loss or something like that, because I felt that I don't need it. What I was looking is, honestly, if I can tell you, and that's within quotes, age reversal. So I say this with a lighter note, that why age reversal? Because I knew that if I keep myself healthy, if I keep myself in proper shape, and shape doesn't mean only inch loss. Shape means that I don't want to go to bed with unhealthy issues in my mind. The last thing that any person wants to do is being unhealthy. I'm a little health conscious
Yeah.
from the beginning. So I'm not into, digging of food. I don't have sweet tooth. So all that has quite saved me a lot from the cravings, etc. But definitely I was kind of, looking for some good strength in my legs, because I went through 3 operations in my life, which is, I know, not a very big number these days. But, those operations had actually, those had really made me my legs very weak. I used to feel that I'm not able to climb even one single floor just by climbing 2 3 stairs. Believe you me, friends, I used to feel, oh God, my knees are paining. No, and I used to just think to myself, I'm a sports person, like I've been always into sports. I've been the head girl in my school, sports captain in my school for several years. Though my height is not very, I'm not even, I'm just about 5. But in spite of that, I was very, very active. But when I suffered those knee pains, I started feeling at this age, knee pain, oh my God. And then Vikas Bhaiya and all others who are in the profession would know that back pain is a very severe issue. I always used to suffer up after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That 2 o'clock, I used to always fear, oh, 2 bajne wala hai, my back pain is going to start. Let the clock just stop and 2 o'clock just doesn't should come by. But obviously that doesn't happen. So just 2 o'clock coming by, and I used to feel, oh God, I have to work for another at least 8 hours, and my back has started paining. And my one hand always used to be like this. I used to just massage my back with my hand like this. I used to sit and keep on doing my work. I used to feel when I will get rid of this pain. And I don't know what, something magical happened. I started training with Kuldeep, thanks to Vikas Bhaiya. He recommended. And somebody told me, in my mind, I always had a myth of that strength training, weight training is not for us. It's for bodybuilders, and, it's for people who belong to the industry of showbiz, etc. Because I am not a person who will be able to continue and then I'll put on weight, my muscles will sag, and something bad will happen instead of good. So that was the general perception, I guess. A lot of people have it. But when Vikas Bhaiya told me, believe you me, I just didn't even think. I said, when he is saying, I just blindly called up Kuldeep, and there he was. He responded so positively and so spontaneously that I think just after 7 8 days we started. I still remember that I was worried that, oh, with strength training, I don't know. But I said, let me just have faith on Kuldeep and Vikas Bhaiya. One thing I must say to all my friends is having faith in yourself is secondary. I feel that you just have to blindly follow your teacher. Kuldeep has been a great teacher, and I think from day one, some chemistry, some kind of a brotherly feeling that I had towards him, that he's here to correctly guide me. He'll never say that. He never says, "Don't do this, don't do that." He says you can do everything, but everything has to be mild. Nothing can be, great except the training portion. He would never go mild in the training portions, and I think he really makes you laboriously work in the training. To the last count, he'll make sure that you're doing your exercises. He'll not let you lose the form. I think that those things are really very important. And the kind of disciplined life that we all lead in our lives, I think getting a disciplined teacher is like a boon. And I felt that with Kuldeep very high. And I believe that, honestly, if I can tell you, I believe that people think that, you should lose weight very quickly because you're training. I've always told people, you put on weight for 10, 12, 15 years at a stretch. How do you think that in
Exactly.
10 months, 5 months, you can lose all that weight that you've gathered and fondly gathered over so many years, and you just want to shed it at one go? That's not possible. I don't think Kuldeep, or for that matter any other person, have a magical wand to let us lose weight like that, because it's only back for return. So Kuldeep, we are just not looking for that kind of a stuff. What I must say and admit, that with you training us, I'll not say that I am training with you. Actually, we are very fortunate that you are giving your precious time. He's always 5 minutes before us. Amazing. I mean, otherwise, we wait for our teachers, but he's the one who's always 5 minutes ahead of the time. Amazing personality, if I may say so. And training with him is a real pleasure. Only thing that I leave with all my friends with is beauty really lies in the eyes of the beholder. Okay? Sometimes we see that the glass is half full, but sometimes our perception says, no, no, the glass is not half full, but the glass is half empty. I think with our lives and with also the way we are molding ourselves, not only for us, but even for our families. Because if the women folk are rightly placed in the family with all good health, I think the entire family is then, belonging to good health. You're not only gifting yourself this health, and you're gifting actually you are making your own generations and the other generations safe by keeping yourself healthy. So Kuldeep, you're just not training us and making us happy and healthy, but actually you are benefiting, your training is benefiting our entire family, if I may say so, and also the extended family. The energy levels are immense, I must say. And Vikas Bhaiya, even in his DP, is laughing and smiling through me. But let me tell you, I almost, everybody does. Like begin my day at 5:30, 5:20, and with work I end my day at 10:30 p.m. Not even an iota of pain that I have. I just अब तो मुझे याद भी नहीं आता है कि मेरे बैक में पेन कभी था. Like I've just lost it totally. I think I only owe it to Kuldeep, and I wish that I should be able to continue this journey. So thank you, Kuldeep, for all of it. And this opportunity is amazing because as lawyers, we've only spoken on law subjects, but here I am also speaking on health. Amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks, because we are once
Thank you.
again.
Thank you so much, Mamta. Thank you so much. That was so encouraging. And I really appreciate what you are doing and what you said. Thank you so much. Okay, Sharon, now over to you. I think let's start.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Mamta and Angira have both given a great talk on, how their journey has been. For me, it's been something that has bothered me for a long time. But honestly speaking, I did nothing about it. Having a desk job, poor eating habits, complete lack of exercise, not only made me gain weight over the past 2 decades, I would say, as Mamta said, very fondly gained that weight over the last 2 decades. But um, around 8 years ago, I was also diagnosed with diabetes. So I think for me, that should have been the jolt that I should have had in my life, that I'm diabetic at such a young age. And that diagnosis should have made me take some action, but sadly it did not. I carried on with life, corporate world, desk job, no time. You just have loads of excuses as to why you should not be doing what the doctors also prescribe as exercising, eating right, and lowering your carbs and all. I couldn't understand any of it, just couldn't, or rather I didn't want to accept it. So I carried on with life, started medication, and past 8 years I was on medication, what all diabetics take. And life was the same. Obviously, along with weight came, as Mamta said, the backache and the knee pain. I just said, it's age, but I'm sure it was none of that. Fast forward to March 2020, and the pandemic hits the world. Um, but for me, I must say it was like a blessing in disguise. Um, I like to sum it up in a couple of points. One, no outside food. None of us were ordering or going out to restaurants. That was my favorite go to. I love eating out. I'm a total foodie. All of that stopped. I had to cook my own food. I don't like to cook, but I had to cook my own food. So when I started cooking my own food, one of the things that Kuldeep started educating me on was, be conscious of what your, the ingredients, or what are you cooking, with what you're cooking, etc. So try not to buy stuff that, you should avoid. So packaged foods is something that he told me, you need to avoid it immediately. You just can't, continue with packaged foods. So biscuits and stuff that I really love, snacks, all of that, like all out of the window. Okay. And no fried stuff, and I love fried stuff, bhajiyas, batata vadas, and all junk food. Everything out of the window. You, if you want to eat it, you prepare it, you have the healthy ingredients, and you eat it. So rather than doing all of that, I said forget it, I just let not have it. Okay, I should not eat it from out, neither should I make it. Fine, no problem. So easy route, stick to fruits, stick to vegetables, stick to salads, stick to soups, things that could be easy, quick, and so I think the food itself made a huge difference for me. And I think the education that I got from Kuldeep as to what's good for me, and what I should avoid, and how to understand what impact those ingredients or those food items have on me. it's an exploratory thing, I guess. Everyone, everyone's body is different. It adjusts differently and it reacts differently. So each one has to find that the right, set of things for themselves. So that was the first thing. Second, introducing exercise. I hate exercise, or at least I used to, up until I started training with Kuldeep. And then, oh my God, I love it. Okay. There are days when I tell him, you know what, I really don't think I can do it, but I'm going to try it anyways. Just 2 days back, Kuldeep, we were doing, abs, and I knew my back was, lower back was hurting, but I said, no, 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 I'll still try, I'll still give it a shot. And I did it, and he was like, you can't do it. I can see that you're in pain, just stop it. And so that's the evolution in me that's happened, because from somebody who used to not exercise to somebody who passionately looks forward to exercising, unless there's like, the body is given up. I mean, that's a huge, huge thing for me. So dedicating 1 and 2 hours, almost, on a six days basis, has, with the resistance training that he's taught me, I thought, training impossible, how to do it at home, weights, no, won't happen. All of it happening, and he tells me, you can do it, you'll be fine. His standard line, you'll be fine. And yes, I am fine. Okay. I Thanks, Kuldeep, I am fine. So I think that's a huge thing. No excuses, travel to work, I don't have the time. We all have time, it's just that we don't want to, you know take the time and do what it takes. So that's the second thing. The third thing was on, fat loss rather than weight loss. I mean, I really didn't know there was a difference. I just thought weight loss hota hai. But it's actually, when you train, when you build your muscles, that's when you focus on fat loss because of the calorie deficit diet that you're going on, and you gain muscles. So, just losing weight but not gaining muscles, you're also losing muscle weight. And I didn't want that to happen. Like, Mamta said, it's so important to have a healthy body, in the sense that if I want to do a trek, if I want to go hiking, or I just want to enjoy certain travel parts of life, and I love traveling, I should be able to walk for 3 hours.
Unmute yourself, Sharon.
Hello? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. So can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So basically, I had to, I think the fat loss versus weight loss.
Again, we lost you. Unmute yourself.
Sorry.
Unmute
So
yourself. Yeah, it is fine. It's fine. We can hear you now.
yeah. So I think that's the, the understanding that I, had from Kuldeep, and in the 4 months that I've trained with him, I actually have lost successfully 7 kgs of fat and gained 3 kgs of muscle. I literally wouldn't have believed that was possible for me, because muscle, it's like Mamta and Angira said, bodybuilders is something that you associate with people who train really hard, and the celebrities, or the people who are professionals. But it's really not that. It's really being able to do even your day-to-day activities, being able to pick up stuff, and which I could not have done earlier. So that was the third thing. The fourth thing was, I think, ensuring that I had the importance of adequate sleep and having adequate water. Again, something that I had not really paid attention to. Sitting in an AC environment in office, you generally fill a bottle of water and then you have it through the whole day. So there's really not much of water intake that we, consciously have in the day. And that was something that, Kuldeep again told me that no, you have to have at least 3 liters of water. So I fill 3 liters of water in the morning and ensure that I have it throughout the day. And adequate sleep, again, ensuring that you have a consistent time of sleeping, and sleeping for as many hours as possible, like at least 7 to 8 hours. So that's something that I think has made a very positive impact in my life and in my attitude. Made me happier. I smile more, I guess. I don't crib about what's happening around the world anymore. And yeah, I think, it gives you a very different perspective. And I think the fifth thing uh, was be kind to myself. I think that's something that Kuldeep keeps harping about, because I celebrated my birthday last month, and trust me, it was not just one day. I let myself go for like 3 weeks at a stretch. Okay. And I had the excuse saying, it's my birthday month, so what? I'm having cake. I'm going to have sweets. I'm going to have Bengali sweets. And, people are sending me stuff. So how can I not eat it? Everybody's cooking with so much of love. So I got to eat it. And I did. And I did not lose any weight last month, right? So
People will gained actually.
initially, yeah, you don't have to tell that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's the best part. You maintained your weight actually.
Yeah,
Right, yeah. That's
yeah.
good.
So what the fact about having even maintenance months,
Yeah.
it's just fine. So be kind to myself. I'm not in a race. Okay. I'm not really, I have goals, yes, and I'm trying to stick to them, but I'm human. So there are times when I'm going to falter. There are times that I'm not going to be able to stick to that goal, but I can't beat myself about it, because if I do, that's when I get demotivated, or that's when I get depressed and stuff like that. And it might end up in me overeating or doing things that I'm not supposed to do. So, all in all, yeah, I think last month taught me a new thing, as a part of the entire program, was that there are maintenance months, and there are times when you're going to put on rather than put off. So, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Nobody's putting a gun to your head, and you just need to stick to, stick to what you think, you've been learning, right? And it's all a part of the journey. It's all a part of the learning. And as you understand and explore and grow and trust, Kuldeep, that things are going to be, you're going to get there. You will get there. So I think, I'm sorry, did somebody say something?
No, no, no.
Okay. So I think, all of this, are all the points that I personally learned. But the biggest win for me, okay, and this is like the climax of my talk, is that I can proudly say that I have reversed diabetes. I am no longer a diabetic. So after 8 years of struggle with this with this lifestyle disease, um, I have now reversed it. In fact, today when I did my test, I was at an all-time low of 100, and that's something that was like, yeah, literally, Mamta, I had like stars, and all those fireworks happening in my head when I saw that number. It's a number that
So
I've
happy for
never
you.
ever.
So
Yeah,
happy.
thanks.
It's a,
And
yeah.
yeah, so for me, I think that was the big goal. I actually did
Exactly.
something that most people talk about, that it's a lifestyle disease. You're going to have it, you're going to have it for life. You don't need to have it for life. Trust me, most of these things are reversible. Yeah, and can be changed, but you got to have put your mind to it. You got to put that effort in it. I think for me it was effort. I was missing effort. And for me it was also somebody like a good coach, like Kuldeep, to push me, constantly nag me and ensure that I stay the path. So I think this all of this has further motivated me, okay, to continue on this transformation journey. For me, it's like a life transformation journey. There are things that I want to do, and I've told Kuldeep those are my life goals. I want to climb a particular mountain, or I want to do some things. I want to go to Ladakh. I want to go to Bhutan. I want to not face. I want to face all of that, and I want to know that okay, I can do those treks without my knees paining, without me not being out of breath, and so on and so forth. So I think for me it's going to be a longer journey. It's not going to be as quick as it is for some, and it's going to be at my pace, not at the pace that people advocate, that you lose 10 or 20 kgs in 30 days, 60 days. I don't think that's for me. It'll be slow, it'll be at my pace, but I will reach there. So I think that's about me and my experience. Thanks.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you so much for such a lovely gesture out here. And I'm sure people would really appreciate in terms of what you're doing currently. And bravo, actually. Now, let me get back to this main discussion that we're going to have out here. For the next, I think 15-20 minutes, I'll take your time, and then after that, we'll have a question-answer sessions where you can put up your questions and we can talk on this. So what I will do is I will just share a presentation with you guys so that it gives you a clear idea of what I'm speaking today. You don't have to keep a note of this. What I can do is after the session is over, I will share these presentations with you guys. You can WhatsApp me and I will tell you ki, 1 second. Okay, this is the presentation that we have. The topic basically, like we all know, was basically how can you transfer your body in 30, 60 or 90 days? Is it a myth or a reality? Most of us have seen these ads, like normally hitting our emails or WhatsApp message we keep getting, like you lose weight, okay, these before after pictures you see actually, okay, where they say like 30 days from a fat belly button, you have a flat stomach, okay, you lose 5 to 10 pounds a month. That's the kind of weight we see actually. And then there are celebrities we hear and we see them, their transformation, like Hrithik Roshan, or for that matter, if you look at, somebody is admitting now. Can I just, we have, 1 second. Huh? We have this, I think most of us have seen this image of Aamir Khan, his Dangal transformation, where basically we were talking about, he said that he could change from 97 kilos to 70 kilos in approximately 5 months. But if you see his training routine, you'll be surprised. This was his training routine actually, in which he went to US for about a month in the first beginning of this month of his training, where he was training for about 7 to 8 hours every day. And his training was basically involved in terms of mountain trekking for about 3 hours. Then there was a weight training for about 1 hour. Okay. Then he used to do something cardio on a swimming pool, which was for 1 hour. Okay. Cycling or playing tennis for 1 hour, walking for 2 hours. That was his training program used to do, like training about 7 to 8 hours every day. And then the most important element is the diet, where typically, as we all know, that if we have to lose weight, we have to be in a calorie deficit diet. And that calorie deficit is basically, we're talking about is anything like his diet was about 1500 calories he was intaking. And he was burning about 5,000 calories a day. And he was losing about 2 kgs a month. Now, this is a huge weight loss. Sorry, 2 kgs a week, not month. Now, generally, what we recommend as trainers, we recommend about a half a kilo a week is a good weight loss. If you want to have it a bit more rapid, maybe a 1 kg a week, but 2 kg a week, if you want to lose 2 kgs a week, this is what is the kind of training you have to do. About 7 to 8 hours of training. You have to be on a huge calorie deficit of about 3000 calories every day. Then you lose that. I have shared the link out here. This link is basically Aamir Khan's, his interview given about 2 years back, where he spoke about all these, what I put up here. So this is what a transformation is all about. If you're looking at losing, like we say, like lose 5 kgs or 6 kgs in a month, this is what you have to do. Train for about 7 to 8 hours, be on a calorie deficit, burn at least 2,500 to 3,000 calories every day, excess than what you are eating actually. Then you get this kind of a figure. Now, if we all look at our journeys, if you look at Angira, you look at Sharon or Mamta or me myself, we have not become like this in 5 months or 6 months. It has taken time for us also, including me. The today about transformation I have, it has taken me about 2 years. But yes, I have gone slow because I was not in a rat race. I don't had, of course, Aamir Khan had a movie which was going on, because as you all know, he had first put on weight and then he reduced because he wanted that transformation, and that's because he wanted to have a lean body after the movie was over. Like I believe what most of you have seen is Fit to Fat, or Fat to Fit something video was there, and where he talks about that. So definitely they have timelines in mind. All they do is train and eat and sleep. That's all they do. But we as human beings can't do that. So we have to go as per our bodies, how our body is responding to exercise, how our body is responding to food. So all that happens actually, and we learn around the process actually. That's what it is. So this is mostly about transformation, actually, how it happens. Now we'll today discussion what I've broken up into is, apart from transformation, is also we'll look at the training and the nutrition myths and realities, because this is also very, very critical actually when we come down to understanding food. Okay, but there are different myths we have today. One of the myths about training is that we need to make a huge change in our life, which is not the case. I'm sorry. I'm not getting my cursor out here, so just give me a minute, please. I can't see where my cursor is moving actually, so okay, yeah, this should be fine. Okay, so first the myth normally people talk about is, if you want to change in things, has to be a huge change in your life, which is not the case. The actual case is you have to take small steps. You have to have small positive steps towards setting up smaller goals actually to make those big challenges or big changes in your life. So for example, a person who has never trained before, who has never done exercise before, you should start with something like very simple, like going for a walk initially. Start off with simple walking, let's say for 45 minutes, 1 hour initially, and then gradually move into something about lightweight exercises, free body weight exercises, then going into maybe into strength training or whatever. Take small changes. A diet, for example, if you're having let's take a huge meals every day, understand about nutrition, have smaller meals depending on the kind of lifestyle you have. And that is how you start. You must start making small changes, not like huge changes. Okay. Second, the biggest myth most of us has is lifting weights will make us bulky, especially women feel that. Women feel that, okay, if I start lifting weight, I will become bulky. But that's not the case. Lifting weight basically helps you in losing fat. That's the biggest thing, because when you're losing body fat, you have to be on a calorie deficit. So when you're on a calorie deficit, first thing what happens is you lose your water, you lose your muscle mass. So if you're not lifting weights or not doing resistance-based training, you will lose your muscle mass, not your fat. So when you do weight training or when you do resistance-based training, you are actually losing body fat. You're building muscles, you're becoming more stronger, and you're having a toned look. Myth number 3, no pain, no gain. Even as trainers, we speak the same language, but that is not always again true. There are times when certain exercises will give you pain. Sometimes they will give you muscle soreness. They are all part of the process. So it is exercise. So definitely you will have pains and gains. So but generally what a lot of people say, no, you have to be pushing yourself too hard. You have to be pushing too hard to get the gains. No, nothing like that. You have to listen to your body. We have to push hard, definitely. But if you are feeling a pain or a muscle soreness, and if you are not in a mood to exercise, take a break. That is perfectly normal. Nothing wrong in that. Because muscle building will take time always. Okay. Then the myth number 4 we have, losing weight, getting in shape, and looking good is all about exercise. That is again a misconception a lot of people have. If I'm exercising, I can lose weight. That's not the case. The biggest truth is that losing weight or losing body fat is dependent on what you eat actually. The major impact is with food that you eat. It is not that if you train hard, you can eat whatever you like. No. Nutrition plays a very, very critical role, very, very important role in fat loss. That's very, very important. Myth number 5 we have is your weight determines how healthy you are. A lot of people focus everything on the body weight that they have. It is not that a person who is having an X number of weight is always healthy. There are times when people are skinny. Okay, that doesn't mean that the person is healthy when he's skinny. So weight is not what determines. What determines is basically your body fat content, what is the nutrition fact that you have, whether you have a balanced nutrition plan or not, how active are you in your life whether you are able to move around properly or not, whether, like how Mamta just spoke, like she was having problems climbing stairs. Are you able to do those basic movement that your body can do? Whether you can run or not, whether you can cycle or not, whether you can do simple body weight exercises. If you can do all that, you are perfectly healthy. So your weight doesn't depend on your health, because like I said, you should be able to move around. That is what as we human beings should be able to do. And that is where it is very, very important. The next is we can target our fat burning sections. Like a lot of people say, okay, I want to lose weight from my belly section, or I want to lose from my arms. People talk about that all the time. But that is not how our body functions. We cannot store fat where we want. Like you can't say, okay, I want to store fat only on my face. I don't want my fat to be stored on my belly button or somewhere like that. So you cannot lose fat from any specific point of your body. If you say, okay, I do a lot of crunches, I should lose fat from my stomach area. No, it doesn't work that way. Body fat will reduce over time with when you are on calorie deficit. So you cannot do spot reduction. Then a lot of people talk about longer workouts are better for fitness and weight loss. It is not about the time. It is about how much of physical activity you do and what is the variation of the workout that you do. There should be a mix of strength training, high interval training, even simple walks, depending on your fitness goals, depending on how fast or slow you want to lose your body fat. It all depends on that. Like I give an example of Amir Khan. He wanted to lose, like he was from 97 kilos, he came to 72 kilos. He had to lose 25 kilos in a stipulated period of time. So definitely for him, he had to lose that weight, 5 to 6 kilos every month. So he had to work out for 6 to 8 hours every day. And that's how he lost that amount of weight. So if you don't have that amount of challenges in front of you, definitely you can always go slow on this. And based on your timelines, you can make your routine and make your workout routine accordingly. That was for training. Now we move on to the nutrition part. A lot of nutrition myths we all hear about here out here. So let's talk about that. The first point here is nutrition is bad for you. A lot of people talk about, protein is bad for you. People say if you have too much protein, is bad for your kidneys, bad for your livers, bad for your stomach. A lot of people talk about that. Okay, but in reality, it is not so, because protein is the main building block of our body. Actually, if you want to, like for example, the tissue that we have, the skin that we have, everything is getting regenerated. So we need protein for that. They're the main building blocks, nutrition building block for our body. Fats and carbs are energy sources. Proteins are your building blocks. So if you don't take enough protein in your body, definitely it will gonna be stopping you from making those muscle mass or repairing your body work and all that. So protein is very, very important. It can come from various sources. It can come from non-vegetarian. If you're non-vegetarian, you're gonna have meat, eggs. If you're a vegetarians, there are pulses, there are vegetables, there are soya, all that is we have. So we can have, a lot of people go for supplements also. That is also recommended. But again, I said, it depends on your protein intake level that you have. Typically, thumb rule is that for every kilo that you weigh, you should have 1 gram of protein. Again, kilo means, when I say body weight, means your lean body weight. Let's take, you weigh about 70 kgs and you are at X amount of percent of body fat, minus the body fat, whatever is your lean body fat, lean body mass. Let's say you are weighing about 50 kg of lean body mass. You need about 50 grams of protein per day. That is the minimum requirement you should have. So protein is important. That is, you cannot deny that. A lot of people say carbs are bad. Again, a lot of people say because if you have too much carbs, you're going to put on weight. Carbs are not bad. Okay, its amount depends on how much of carbs you are having. For example, if your body needs only, let's take 75 or 100 grams of carbs every day. If you have 120 or 150 or 200 grams of carbs, definitely that is bad. But if you have a limited amount of carbs that is required for you based on your nutrition goals, then it is fine. Otherwise, if you have more, it is a problem. So that is what we say. So as long as you're not overindulging, when we say overindulging means not having too much carbs, then we have a problem. Otherwise, carbs are good because we need that energy source to do a lot of our activities. So carbs are important. Next myth we all talk about is fats. Fats are bad for you again. Okay. There are, of course, if you talk about trans fats, they are bad. But apart from that, our body needs omega-3, omega-6. They are needed. Saturated fats are also important nowadays. People were initially saying, okay, egg yolks are bad. Okay, people had earlier spoken like saturated fats are bad, but today science has proven that saturated fat are not bad. Trans fat, yes, industrial produced fat is bad. Okay, that is what we should avoid. But trans fat, your desi ghee is good. Okay, your almonds, your seeds, your egg yolks, they are perfect. They're not bad. Of course, again, depending on your nutrition requirement, carbs and fat has to be fixed. If you are in a calorie deficit, it has to be kept to a level which you are losing. You have to keep a level that you are able to lose weight. If you want to gain muscle or you want to gain weight, you have to have a calorie surplus. It is as simple as that. But it should not be too much. Generally, the thumb rule is whatever your maintenance calorie is, you have about 500 calories less every day. You'll be losing weight regularly. If you want to gain weight, add about 500 calories more. And that is how you are going to add on weight to yourself. Egg yolks are bad for you. That has been a major concept. But the fact is that eggs are the best source of protein that we can get, and especially yolk, because that also contains a lot of important nutrients that we need. And it is not, people talk about high cholesterol and all that. All research and studies have said that yolk is not the main concern with cholesterol and high cholesterol. Again, bread is bad for you. People say bread is bad for you. Okay, people have these fantasies of brown bread, white bread, and all that. Again, they are carbs again. But like I said, bread, wheat, pasta, whatever you say, everything is fine if it is having in a limited form. Okay, anything which is calorie surplus, you consume anything more is bad. Okay, so even if bread comes under carbs, but again, there is not much differentiator. People talk about white bread, green bread. Okay, sorry, not green bread, white bread, brown bread, but there's not much of a difference actually in that. So we are looking at basically in terms of the fiber content. That's not, this marginal difference is there. So if you enjoy white bread, go ahead, have the white bread. You won't see much of a difference actually if you are in a calorie deficit. Nowadays, we talk about dietary supplements. Most of the people look at dietary supplements more than food, because this is where today the food industry has gone into. Today, food industry is highly dependent on supplements. People want to sell protein shakes, they want to sell multivitamins, they want to sell their products, and they always give a focus, you know, this is more important than this. But trust me, as a nutritionist myself, and most of the nutrition which we prescribe is that a dietary supplement is only needed if you are not able to get you're getting your dietary nutrition from food. For example, let's take somebody who is a vegetarian, is having lactose problem, and he's not able to get his protein intake from only dal or pulses because he can't have milk product. He cannot have, maybe the person is like soya, so he's only dependent on dal or pulses. He can't get enough protein. Then the person can have protein powders. But if the person is a non-vegetarian and the person is able to have protein from his sources, he doesn't need a protein powder. So you don't need protein supplements. You don't need supplements if you're getting it from the food. So that is what is the biggest truth. So you need not replace your food with supplements. You have your food, but in case you feel that there is some deficiency happening. For example, like vitamin D today, we don't go out in the sun mostly. So we are having vitamin D deficiency. So that you can take as a supplement. But apart from that, most of the vitamins and minerals are available on food that we eat, whole food that we eat. So we don't need these supplements actually. The next myth we talk about is eating clean. Now this is a buzzword everybody talks about. We should eat healthy, we should eat clean. Now what is clean? For you, clean could be something. For me, clean could be something. Okay, food is food. I consider food as an energy source, which will give me my energy, give me my multivitamins, minerals, everything. It gives me that. So why should I talk about this food is bad, this food is good, or this food is clean, this is unclean? There's nothing like that. So if you look at the cleaning eat funda that is there, it's very tough to define. Okay, so if you stick to the very basics, okay, when we talk about basics means like what we have, whole grain, whole wheat, whole not processed food, but whole food actually when we talk about is, if that is what there is there in your foods and your daily meals, you are covering most of your thing actually. You don't have to worry about a bit of processed food going in system. Like for example, I sometimes I love salami and ham. So I have that sometimes, one and off, but not on a regular basis. So it is okay with that because You cannot give up everything. But yes, as we go in this journey, we try to avoid processed food as much as we can. But once in a while is fine. It won't kill you actually, because we cannot kill our taste buds. We all enjoy different kind of cuisines. We all enjoy different kind of foods. As long as they say, the basic principle is, if you are in a calorie deficit, you will lose that body fat, no matter what you eat or no matter how clean or easy you eat. Because there are times people eat clean, but they eat more. So you cannot lose weight at that point of time. So you stick to like good vegetables, good fruits. Okay, you can clean it up. People talk about organic food. Well, if you can afford it, go for it. Nothing wrong in that. Then we have this new trend nowadays about detox. Like you should detox regularly. What is detox? People talk about detox is you are sticking onto a diet which is basically based on juices. You just have a juice for a couple of days and you are detoxed. That is how a body doesn't function. The body doesn't understand all this. For it, it is food. Our body can detox itself. We have organs in our body which does all that function. So your liver is there, okay? They are the function who does all that. So if you're having food which is like leafy vegetables, you're having whole grain food and all that, okay, which are full of vitamins and minerals, your body will automatically detox itself. You don't need these detox drinks to detox yourself, because you have to be eating the right kind of food. Automatically your body will detox you over time. Of course, like I said, all these process takes time. They will take slow. The process takes time, because when you are healing yourself naturally, when you are healing yourself in a natural manner, it will take time for your body to adjust all that, okay, to remove this toxin from your body, because the body is meant to do all that. Then this is one of the major thing I've seen in the fitness industry. You need protein right after your workout. I've seen so many people hitting the gym. The first thing they do is after the workout, come to the changing room and they start using the protein shakes. The first thing they do is that they take a scoop of protein and they have it immediately. They feel, no, I have just given a huge workout, I need my protein shake immediately, which is again a wrong myth. What is important is actually that protein is important too, but if you're having regularly, okay, over a day, during the day, and it does affects a bit. For example, let's say you had a very heavy workout and within 1 or 2 hours, if you have a protein meal, it's good enough. If you come back home, let's say you're working out in the morning and you go home and for a breakfast, definitely you will have protein sources in your like you have eggs or maybe or whatever. So definitely you're getting protein sources from food. You don't need that protein supplement to be taken after the workout immediately. You have a 1 or 2 hour window to have a protein source. It could be from food also. You don't need the protein supplement. Ultimately, what is important is during the day, how much of protein you take. I see a lot of people having protein supplement, but in their meals, it is fully carbohydrate loaded. The general rule is every meal that you take, whether breakfast, lunch, or dinner, you have to have some protein source in that. Let's take your requirement 60 grams of protein in a day. You divide it out into 3 meals, 20 grams in every meal. Have it 20 grams in every meal. That will give you your protein requirement for the day. You don't need these protein supplements. You don't need separately these protein supplements. Then we have this, again, the concept of people talking about eating often, like having 4 meals, 5 meals, 6 meals a day will boost your metabolism. Metabolism is something which, again, is always rises, lowers, depending on your activity levels also. Of course, food also helps you in that. But again, understand, as a human body, our system that we have, our stomach, our intestine, they are able to digest food in a certain period of time. Normally, when we eat our meals, it takes about 4 to 5 hours to digest the meal actually. If we start eating every 2 hours, every 3 hours, our entire body is only digesting food the entire day. We are not going into recovery mode. We are not going into other repair modes, which is very, very important. You should eat when you are hungry. That's very, very important. Your metabolism will not go down, even if you're having 3 meals or 2 meals in a day. If you are hungry and you had a meal, perfect. But if you keep eating every 2-3 hours, you're actually gaining, you'll be actually having more, you'll be eating more. But we have seen that people start feeling hungry after, like for example, your meal is carbohydrate dominant. You will feel again after 2 hours, you start feeling hungry. Again, you'll eat again. So what happens is, if you are going to be restricting yourself to a certain number of calories, you'll be going beyond that. So you will not be able to do that. So don't worry about metabolism going down and all that. If you have 2 to 3 meals, depending on your calorie intake, depending on what your calorie requirements are, and you divide that into 2 or 3 meals, and you're okay with that, perfectly normal. You don't have to be eating so much. Okay, so that was the 10 myths I was covering today. There are many myths out there. I don't want to take so much time. So I will just let's cover up this. And what I will do is my number is here. If you can just note down my number, and if anybody wants this presentation, just message me or WhatsApp me or email me. I will mail you or WhatsApp you this presentation so you can have a look at it later. And now let me get back to the screen. And if there are any questions out here, we can start the question and answer sessions right now. Okay. So anybody who wants to speak, any questions out here, please feel to, you can unmute yourself and you can start speaking, please.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi. Good evening to everyone. So, Mr. Kuldeep, I have a question, and it's related to the timings of your meals, right? So many people have constantly talked about that you should plan out your meals according to times so that your body doesn't like get overwhelmed with sugar levels if you're having dinner late around 9 at night. So my question is that actually relevant if you're doing exercise, or how can you regulate that, the whole timing part?
Basically, I'll tell you what, actually, the timing is important sometimes depending on your activity levels, but it is not so important actually. Of course, we all say that, okay, like for example, if we are going to bed at a certain amount of period of time, let's say we go back to bed around 10 o'clock at night, we should at least have our meals 2 to 3 hours before that. Okay. It is all depending on your convenience. People, like a lot of people say, okay, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Today, it has been seen that it's not important actually. It all depends on your convenience, your timings actually. If you are convenient by not eating a breakfast and you are okay with skipping a breakfast, it's perfectly normal. Okay. If you are okay with having 2 meals a day, that's perfectly normal. Okay. It all depends on your hunger that you are, like how hungry you are for food. Because when you are on a weight loss, a lot of people tend to give more importance to timings of the food. Timing is not important. What is important is what you are eating is more important. How you calculate your calories, how much of protein you are having, how much of carbs you are having, how much of fat you are having, what you are eating is important. You have to plan your meal, definitely, yes. If you, let's say you are on a 1500, 1600 calorie diet and you say, okay, I want to have 3 meals in a day, and what time you want to do it is perfectly normal. Yes, it is advisable that, for example, let's say you have a heavy workout you have done, and after that you feel hungry, you want to have a meal after that, is perfectly normal. Okay. And sometimes for some people, before the workout, if you want to have a meal before the workout, take about, let's take 2 hours or 1.5 hours before your workout, have a meal, and then you can do a workout, not immediately before your workout. So that amount of gap is required. So timing, as per me, is not so important.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Anybody else? You can unmute yourself and ask the question, please.
So there is a question from me, Kuldeep. Vikas on this side.
Hi, Vikas.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Kuldeep, for coordinating this beautiful session, and the presentation was indeed an eye-opener. So my question to you very specifically is age a barrier or a bar to commence a lifestyle schedule of exercising or maintaining a regimen of diet?
Well, because age is never a factor actually. You can start exercising at any age. I know people, I have seen people, even when they are 60, 65, they started exercising actually, even though they have never exercised all their life. So there is no age to start exercising. Yes, you have to go slow. You have to listen to your body. You have to be like aware of what you are exercising actually. It could be simple body weight exercises. It could be strength training. It could be maybe starting, like I said, initially you need to start slow. For example, let's take, if somebody is fond of running, the person cannot start running from day one. He has to start slowly. he may have to gain his stamina, build his stamina, and he has to start slowly on that. So definitely we have to go slow on this. Okay, if somebody is, let's say in my age, like when somebody is around 45, 50 years old, and you want to start exercising after, let's say, 30 years or 40 years, definitely you have to go a bit slow on that. So that's how we start actually, because so there is no.
And what about the diet?
Again, like I said, diet is again something which is depending on your choices that you have, the kind of food choices that you have. We all have been eating in a certain manner all our life. Okay, I give you a simple example. Like when we were small, when we were growing up as all as childhood adults, actually, we used to have a certain amount of meal. Okay, like for example, I used to have like 3 to 4 chapatis with every meal I used to have. For lunch, I used to have 3 4 chapatis. For dinner, 3 4 chapatis. I carried on till I was, I think, my 30 35 years. I used to have that. For till 20 it is fine, because till that time we are like working out, we are playing 4 to 5 hours every day. 3 4 chapatis is fine because our body is growing. But after 2021 we are not growing anymore. Our growth hormones don't grow as what we were in the early childhood, but we carry on with the same diet actually, which is again a mistake. We have to now start looking at what our activity levels are. If our activity levels have started from here, it's come down to 0, we can't have the same amount of chapatis or the same amount of rice in our meals actually. So that is where we have to look at a diet, and we have to follow a regime where we know whatever our body needs, we have to give that only. So dieting is not I won't use the word dieting, but I would say healthy choices of food, the right choice of food that is required. The amount of carbs, how much is needed, that you need to understand, and that is what your body needs, and that is what you need to give to your body actually.
Kuldeep, one more point that I would like to highlight over here, hearing all the three speakers this evening, Miss Sharon, Miss Mamta, and Miss Angira. So one point, that we could draw home is, you need a very, very strict regimen and discipline in order to attune yourself. If Mamta could get rid of her backache, or Miss Sharon can, reverse her lifestyle diseases such as diabetes. So I think this is an encouraging factor for people like us getting into middle age now. And so, how exactly do you think exercising regimen and discipline, how do they play a role in shaping our day-to-day lives?
Yes, discipline is important. Like I have always believed that you have to have the discipline is there. Your consistency has to be there. Your perseverance has to be there. Okay, dedication has to be there towards your diet. Dedicated towards your exercise is important. No matter what you do, if you are happy with doing simple like walking, also you're fine with that. But like I said, if you need to do some exercise, basically to strengthen your bones and joints and all that, you need to do that. Even if you do 3 to 4 days a week or 5 days a week, that is also good enough actually. You don't have to really be hitting a gym to be getting into that shape. You can do it from home also. There are simple body weight exercises available, like simple like squats, okay, doing a simple knee push-up, or doing a simple exercises like using some bands and all that. We can do at home. There are so many things available on the YouTube. You go online and plenty of home-based exercises are available out there. So people can get into that. The regime is important. Yes, you need to exercise every day for at least 45 minutes to 1 hour, as much as you can. Walking is advisable because it keeps you moving actually, because the more we move around, it helps to be in a calorie deficit actually. So if you start with that, a daily basis is important. Yes, there are times when we feel lethargic, there are times when we don't feel like working out. It is okay, take a break. But that break should not be for months. Like I've seen people, they start working out, and then after, let's say, they do for 3 months, 6 months, and then they take a break for like 6 years. That's not advisable. You want to take a break for a half, break up for 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, but then come back again. It is important to again come back to that routine, because this is not something that we do only for 6 months or 1 year. It is for life. Because if you want to keep yourself healthy your entire life, when you say entire life means your old age also. You should not say I should now, because I'm retired now and I should stop working out and I should sit on the couch and I'll be fit. No, that is the time you have to move around a lot. After you retire, you don't what life you have. You can't sit at home. You have to be mobile enough. You have to be going out around. You have to at least be able to move around and take care of your health. So that time, if you are not able to move around, sorry state of affairs actually for everyone. So it's important that yes, we start at whatever age we want to. There's no gap for that. Yes, but we have to be slow. We have to understand our body, and that's what we have to take it forward.
Can you spell a line about meditation, pranayama, or this
Yes,
steps?
see, like I said, any form of exercise, whether it's yoga, whether it's stress training or cardio, everything is good. Okay, meditation does helps a lot. Like in fact, a lot of people I know meditate to calm themselves out, especially when you have sleep as a most important factor. Today, when we talk about exercise, we talk about food. The third element is sleep. If you're not getting adequate amount of sleep, like 6 to 7 or 8 hours, what your body needs, you will not be able to recover. So recovery happens when you sleep. Your muscle building happens when you sleep. So that is why it's very, very important to sleep. So meditation definitely helps a lot. Okay, it helps you like your stress levels, because normally a lot of us have a lot of stress in our life. So meditation helps in stress levels. Okay, pranayama and all that, yoga asanas are, they're also very good for stretching, building, and a lot of yoga asanas I know are very tough, and they are help you in stretch in building strength training also. So it depends on individual choices actually in what kind of exercises and what kind of regime you want to follow. Because remember, when you exercise, the best part of exercise is actually when you exercise, the one thing which happens is discipline. Second thing that happens is basically your food choices are controlled actually. I was at one point of time believer that if you exercise, you can eat anything. I used to believe that, but I was completely wrong. I would admit it here. If you cannot eat whatever you like when you exercise, you have to be on a calorie deficit if you're losing weight. You have to know what you're eating. That is very, very important. If you don't have that, you cannot achieve your goals in fitness. Any other questions out
Thank
here?
you, Master.
Thank you, Vikas. Any other questions we have out here? Anyone? Any questions, please?
Hi, Kuldeep.
Hi, Sandeep.
Hello.
Yes, Sandeep, I can hear you.
I'm able to hear you.
Sandeep, I can hear you.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Sandeep, I can hear you.
I am not able to hear you. Just 1 moment. Is it now clear?
Yeah, we can hear you, Sandeep.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. That's okay. My headphones were not working, so
Okay.
just I missed out a small session of your when you were actually giving presentation. So around the fourth or fifth, sixth slide onwards, I just missed out.
Okay.
I couldn't get in again. I was trying to, I sent you a personal message also.
Okay,
Anyways,
maybe I was. I'll do one thing. I'll share the, like I said, like whoever wants to see the presentation again can just WhatsApp me. I will email or WhatsApp the presentation to you all. Yeah.
that will be great. And
Yes.
I think you are actually now on a point where most of the people in this world, they're going through a bad phase of obesity. So I think the thing that you are actually catching up. In my case, probably I'm actually thinking how am I going to get committed once when I talk to you
Okay.
about getting weight loss. It's almost 91 92 kgs, so
Okay.
I should ideally be around within 70 74,
Yes.
not more than that as per
Right.
my height.
Yes.
So probably there is a good amount of weight loss which needs to be done. So many a times we had spoken, but somehow because that I know that there would have to be a kind of a disciplinarian thing. So how do you think discipline can actually come into the picture? Actually, like we need to put in around 2 hours daily, something like that. What do you
Like I
say?
said, it all depends upon your fitness goals actually. Even if you're working out 1 hour every day, okay, minimum 1 hour every day, and you're working out 4 to 5 days or 6 days a week, that is good enough. Now, when we talk about discipline, okay, now discipline is a word which again is a definition we all know. What is more important is commitment actually. If you are able to prioritize yourself, prioritize your health over anything else, then you automatically get discipline actually. At times we feel okay, नहीं यार आज नहीं करते exercise, आज छोड़ देते हैं, that is fine. But if you are disciplined in a sense that okay, I have to work out 4 to 5 days a week, you have to set targets to yourself. That's number one. You have to say okay, small milestones. Okay, I will work out for 4 to 5 days in a week. That's the first habit we have to inculcate. We have to talk about okay, I will eat this amount of calories every week or every day. Okay, I will sleep for, let's take 7 to 8 hours every day. Okay, so we have to have those, what do you say, habits
Goal
inculcated.
set in a mind.
Yes.
Okay.
So once you have these habits built into your system, then automatic discipline comes into place actually. It's like, you know that every day you have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You have a set an alarm for yourself. So you get up at 5 that. Because take it, for example, let's say you know that you have to go to work every day. Maybe you don't have a choice because your livelihood depends on that. You have to earn for your family. You have to go to work every day at 9 o'clock. You have to work there for 10 hours every day. Do you have a choice or no? You don't have a choice. Same thing, you have to think about your own self. Ki boss, I have no choice but to look after my own health. So if I have no choice, what do? I have to exercise. I have to go for my walk. I have to do my workout. I have to stick to my diet. So that time when you start prioritizing things, everything falls in place actually. So most of us, what we do is we never prioritize our health. So the day you start doing that,
बीच में once when the pandemic started, now we started doing yoga on a regular basis, on a daily basis. But surprisingly, I thought maybe yoga can help us get back into the shape or something like that. So for me, what used to happen is, rather than getting back into shape, the find the bones, the muscle strength that was getting built up. But issue is the body weight was not reducing. So in like if we do yoga and the body weight still not coming down, that means some cardio related matters needs to be done, or maybe something which
see, I'll tell you,
you
I'll tell you, basically what happens is, if you're reducing your body weight, okay, body fat or body weight, what you're saying, the first thing you have to be is on a calorie deficit. Exercise, any form of exercise you do, will only basically strengthen your bones, strengthen your muscles, okay, strengthen your joints. It will only do that for you, okay. But if you want to lose body fat, you have to be on a calorie deficit. So for that, the best is start calculating your calories, start tracking your calories, measure your weight every day, and see where your weight is going. If you think that you are, let's say you're having an X amount of calorie every day, okay, let's say you're eating about 2,000 calories every day, and your weight is not going down, drop your calorie from 2,000 to 1,800. Still measure it for a week or 10 days and see. If you're not coming down yet, again bring it down. Or else add a bit of cardio, maybe add a bit of walk into your session if you have time. If you don't have time, then you have 1 hour of exercise, but start getting your calories down gradually. Don't drastically drop it actually. So you can always look at having, because you have to monitor your weight, number one. Second is you have to basically monitor your food habits also. Once you start monitoring that, then automatically you see your weight coming down, because weight loss is purely dependent on being in calorie deficit.
Okay, I will be in touch with you, and probably we will surely. I need this transformation, which is very essential. I think it will be good enough.
Yes, Sandeep.
A good
Puri
session.
ji,
A good session.
Puri ji, take the coordinates from Kuldeep ji, huh? Take his coordinates.
Sure, definitely.
Okay, anybody else? Any other questions here, please?
Kuldeep, there is a question from Agnida Banerjee. She asked that she was never been in exercise, yoga, and walking before. So if she starts, because her microphone is not working.
Okay.
So what kind of a time she needs to spend for walking initially? And that's what is her question.
Cooking. Is that on the chat? Okay, let me just read out this question out here.
Yeah.
Okay, I never been on exercise
Yeah.
or walking before, so I start with walking. How much time I shall spend for walking initially? Okay. See, basically, about walking is the thing. Basically, like, see, I'll tell you what. Walking, when we do, is basically to have some amount of calorie deficit. Actually, walking exercise or any kind of cardio is basically meant to do, basically have a calorie deficit for you. Now, what happens is, when you're only walking and reducing your calorie deficit, and you are in a calorie deficit, the body knows that you are in a calorie deficit. Okay, so it will start storing those fat, whatever you have, and it will start losing water and muscles from your body. Now I give you a simple example. Like when we were child, actually, okay, when we were young, and we should do a lot of sports activity and all that. We could do push-ups and pull-ups and all that at that moment of time, because we were growing, we could do that. But as we age, we can't do push-ups and pull-ups anymore, because we don't have that muscles on ourselves. right? So we have to build those muscles. So what the body does is that when we go in a calorie deficit, our body starts losing out muscles first instead of losing the body fat, even though when we are in a calorie deficit. When we are in calorie surplus, nothing happens to the muscles because the muscles are already there. For example, let's take a 90 kg person is walking around, okay? He will have huge legs muscles because his body has to, the leg has to carry those body around, okay, that weight around. So his muscles will be there in his legs. Maybe he will not have a big upper body, but his lower body will be big. Now, when he starts walking and he or she starts reducing weight, he or she will start losing muscles first and water body first. He will not lose fat. So what happens is your fat percent doesn't come down. You will lose some amount of weight with walking and all, and with about calorie deficit and all, because when you are walking and doing calorie deficit, your metabolism also starts coming down actually. So that time, to keep your metabolism high, strength training becomes very, very important. Without strength training, you cannot retain your muscles. Your metabolism will come down. You will not lose mass fat. You will lose body weight, but not fat. You lose water and muscle. So it's important that apart from walking, you need to do resistance-based training. That's very, very important. So walking could be like 45 minutes to 1 hour, depending on whatever time you have. That is only to be in a calorie deficit. But exercise, any form of exercise is also very, very important.
Yeah.
Welcome again. Okay, anybody else? Any other question? Okay, since we don't have a question anymore, so I think let's end the session, because I think we were supposed to be here for 1 hour and we've already gone beyond 1 hour, even 1 hour 20 minutes now. And I would like to thank the participants out here. I would thank Angira, Mamta, Sharon for your beautiful words today. And really, as a coach, it is very, very encouraging for me when I hear such good praises from my own self. And I would like to thank everybody out here who could join us today. And I hope this session has been an eye-opener for you all. Okay. Before I end, I could only say one thing. Remember one thing, this is a journey. This is not a short-term goal. Take it as a long-term goal, which you have set yourself. Yes, you do set small milestones for your weight loss journey or weight gain journey, whatever you want to be. I believe most of us are on a weight loss journey out here, apart from me, who have to be now going on a weight gain mode, because most of my people are saying you're looking terrible at such a low weight. So I have to be start now putting on a bit more weight. So let's see how I go about that.
But why? This is somebody like my mom who always convinces me that I'm becoming so lean, like somebody like that.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. So I would like, I said, like, let's go slow. Let's not, we are not in a rat race out here. Remember one thing, we are not in a competition out here. We're not competing for a stage show or anything like that. So let us all remember that this is a journey.
Yes.
And take it slow and listen to your body. That's number one. This is number one thing. Exercise regularly. Take into account the food is very, very important. Remember, do not like, don't think that this is good, this is bad. No, you have to understand that everything is good and everything is bad. If you enjoy a pizza, have a pizza. Like, I love sweets. I enjoy my sweets actually. On a Sunday, I binge like sweets like anything. I do that. Like, I just had a half a kg of cake today. My wife made it and I had it today. So that was my binge eating day today. So that won't make much of a difference on my scale. I know that, because it's important to enjoy life also. Enjoy food, if especially enjoy that. But yes, control it. That's the major thing actually. Get your sleep in order. Start exercising. That is very, very important. If you have not started exercising, please do that. That is very, very important. Even if you start slowly, start. That is very, very important. Okay. And this is a long journey we all are here for. And I wish you all the best. And again, thank you very much for joining here. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Thank
Kuldeep.
you. Thank
And
you.
thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night. Good night. Good night. See you.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
I